Hey everyone, Foss here. The extreme surprise lock of Pokemon Sword was an insanely slow going and difficult one, but I eventually was able to power through and beat the challenge with only a team of surprise traded Pokemon. I think it is time to do another Nuzlocke. The Randomizer Nuzlocke of Heart Gold I completed a while back took me 22 attempts and 5 months to complete, so I thought, could I beat a different Randomizer Nuzlocke a little bit quicker? So with that, I decided to take on my favorite game of the Pokemon series, and that was Alpha Sapphire. This is the first game I bought on my 3DS when I got back into Pokemon, but I haven't picked this back up since getting into grad school almost 6 years ago. I guess there's no better time than now, right? But what are the rules to this challenge? We will follow the typical Nuzlocke rules, so we only catch the first Pokemon encountered on each route, and if that Pokemon faints, I will move it to the RIP box to never be used again. There are no duplicates, including Pokemon within the same evolution line. There's no items in battle except for held items, and Pokeballs of course. There's no glitches or exploits, and if I white out, I must restart the run. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments below. Also remember to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell for more videos like this in the near future. But with all that out of the way, let's get to the actual video. We start out like any other Pokemon game, locked in the back of a dark van with blacked out windows and a creepy doll sitting in the corner. Yeah, normal things. We use an iPad to choose a character, and then are introduced to our mother and her quote-unquote moving team. A little suspicious how fast they took off once I arrived. But from there we head next door to meet our new rival, May. She mentions how she forgot to help her father catch some Pokemon and takes off, so we follow her to Route 101 where we find a chunky fellow being attacked by a Poochyena. He tells us to choose a Pokemon from his bag to help him out. So we rip it open to see what our options are. Okay, one of these options might be better than the others. But chat talks me out of choosing Zekrom since it would just be too easy or something like that, so we go with Dodrio. And with our new Pokemon, it was time to take on Tangela? Did I mention that this was randomized, by the way? And what all is randomized? Well, wild Pokemon, trainer names, and items that we find out in the wilderness. But with that, Dodrio makes quick work of Tangela, so we move on to take on May for the first time. She has Dusclops, which is low-key terrifying. Luckily for us, it only used Astonish, which does not even affect Dodrio, so Dodrio was able to take it out with a few pecks without taking any damage. From there we head back to the Pokemon Lab, where we receive the Pokédex and some Pokeballs before heading back to Route 101 to catch ourselves a Weedle. Not the best first addition to the Pokédex, but it is an addition nonetheless. We then head back to Route 103 to catch a Scatterbug before heading to Route 102 to catch our worst Pokemon yet, Volcanion, who I was somehow able to catch with just a single Pokeball after bringing it to Yellow Health. I have a feeling that we might be relying on Volcanion quite a bit at the start of this run. We then meet up with our father, who introduces us to Wally, who teaches us how to catch Pokemon after I had just caught 3 of them. Yeah, thanks for the help, buddy. I then continue on to Route 104 to add Metagross to the team, yet another solid addition, and Crustle in the Petalburg Woods. This run is already looking much more promising than the previous run. With our team looking solid at this point, I went right into the first gym of the Hoenn region. Having full confidence in the team after destroying the gym trainers without any issue whatsoever, I went straight into the battle against Roxanne without even visiting the Poké Center first. She leads off with Cobalion. Why would it not be a legendary Pokemon? Double Kick does okay damage against Crustle, but Rock Blast does next to nothing in return. I switch to Volcanion, who takes a quick attack from Cobalion twice in a row before retaliating with a Flame Charge to knock it out. Charmeleon is out next and hits Volcanion with a Growl before being hit by a takedown for a quarter of its health. I switch to Dodrio, who takes a smoke screen before hitting Charmeleon to bring it down to Yellow Health. Dodrio then takes a scratch before finishing off Charmeleon with a Fury attack to earn us the first of 8 badges here in the Hoenn region. We then continue on to add Mime Jr. to the team on Route 116, and Spritzy in the Rust Turf Tunnel before jumping onto a boat with Mr. Briny and his faithful sidekick, Wingull. And I really don't want to admit how long it actually took me to catch the old man to even ask him to take me anywhere. Okay, it was kind of embarrassing. We then head into the Granite Cave to add Granbull to the team before heading into the second gym of the challenge at Dewford City. I really begin to worry when the first trainer has a Tornadus and the second one has a Suicune. what is this really preparing me for when I get to the gym leader Brawly? Well, let's find out. Sir? What's happening here? Is this how I look when I do my bodyweight squats every night before bed? God, I hope not. Yikes. Anyways, let's get to the actual battle. Brawly leads off with Doublade, who stands no chance against Volcanian's Flame Charge. Oh wait, never mind. That brought it to yellow health, and it follows with Metal Sound. I hit again with Flame Charge to finally take it out. Next though is Slowking, who is brought to half health by Takedown and retaliates with Confusion for just a little bit of damage. One more takedown is enough to bring down Slowking and earn us the second badge of the challenge. That was yet another easy gym overall. I think having the legendary Volcanion as well as the pseudo-legendary Metagross on the team is going to make this run pretty dang easy. We are then introduced to the mysterious Steven as we deliver him the mail that we had received earlier at the Devon Corporation. After a quick thank you, we are off again to Slateport, where we are greeted by a sailor with a mill tank, who is able to tank 2 takedowns before outspeeding Volcanion and unleashing a huge rage to knock it out. Yeah, that is a huge loss to the team. We then take out our frustrations on some children by stealing their lunch money before heading into the Oceanic Museum to take on Team Aqua for the first time. After showing them what a 10-year-old is made of, we are introduced to this beautiful, chiseled, tan... I mean, the leader of Team Aqua, Archie. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. After all that, we head to Route 110 to add LGM to the team before heading into this inconspicuous house with no one home. Oh wait, there is someone home. Oh, and not only that, he has some children locked in a secret room in his house behind the tapestry. Walk away slowly, Foss. Walk away slowly. Following that adventure, I attempt to catch another trainer's Larvitar. I was distracted, okay? I mean, look at my cat, Drecker. How can you not be distracted by this little guy? He's such a cutie. Anyways, after all that, it's time to take on May for the second time. She leads off with Scraggy as I lead with Crustle. Crustle hits with Bug Bite as Scraggy does little damage with Headbutt. Rock Blast brings Scraggy to red health as it hits back with Feint Attack before being taken down by yet another Rock Blast. Surskit is out next, but a single Rock Blast from Crustle is enough to take it out. Last out was the mythical Pokemon Phione, who leads with Charm. Crustle's Bug Bite does minimal damage before Phione hits it with his Supersonic to confuse it. And then hits itself immediately, so I switch into Metagross, who is confused immediately again by Supersonic. It then hits itself in confusion as Phione hits it with Bubble. Phione gets another Bubble off before it is hit by Metagross's takedown for big damage. Metagross then hits itself in confusion yet again and takes a couple more bubbles before finally getting off one more takedown to finally bring down Phione and defeat May for the second time. We then get to Mobville City, where we are challenged by Wally, who oddly enough has the same randomized name as May. That's kind of weird. And his only Pokemon is a level 17 Durant, who eventually goes down to Metagross for a very easy victory. We then head into the Mobville City gym to take on Watson. I send out Crustle as he leads off with a Pidgeotto. Crustle hits first with a Smackdown, which takes it out with a single hit. Aaron is out next, and I switch into Granbull. Aaron gets off a Rock Tomb before Granbull is able to get off a bite for half of Aaron's health. Aaron then uses Roar to drag out Metagross, who hits Aaron with a Confusion before taking a Rock Tomb in return. Watson then uses a Super Potion to bring Aaron back to full health, but a crit hit Confusion from Metagross brings it back to below half health, while also confusing it in the process. Aaron gets off a Rock Tomb before another Confusion finally knocks it out. Jinx was out last. Confusion does minimal damage, and Jinx retaliates with a Powder Snow for a big 5 damage. Metagross then gets off a Pursuit to knock out Jinx and finally earn us the third badge from Gym Leader Watson. I then head west of town to catch a Lampert on Route 117 before getting myself a free bike. And no, it was not one of the numerous unlocked bikes laying around town, okay? I'm not that type of person. I got it for free from the bike shop owner, okay? I then head north of town to smash one of the boulders on Route 111, where I find myself a Larvesta that we add to the team with an Ultra Ball before heading on to Route 112 to catch ourselves a Drillbur. I then spend 12 Great Balls and a few Ultra Balls before finally adding Landorus to the team in the Fiery Path, and then proceed to find Grovyle on Route 113 before heading into Meteor Falls to take on Team Aqua yet again. May and I team up this time around and take on a couple grunts, who started off with Woobat and Registeel. I throw out Metagross as May sends out Munchlax. Metagross hits Registeel with a Zen Headbutt for a little damage, and Woobat follows with an Imprison, and Registeel hits with Metal Claw. Munchlax then deals decent damage with Chip Away to Woobat before I hit Registeel again with a Zen Headbutt to bring it to yellow health. After an Assurance from Woobat and a Bulldoze from Registeel, Munchlax takes out Woobat with a Lick. A Zen Headbutt from Metagross and a Lick from Munchlax finally takes out Registeel, bringing out their final Pokemon, Raichu, who hits Metagross hard with a Thunderbolt, nearly taking it out. Luckily, one more Zen Headbutt takes out Raichu with a single hit to win us the battle. After grinding some levels on my Pokemon by battling the mini trainers in the area, I head to Mount Chimney to take on Team Aqua yet again. I battle my way through a few grunts and an executive before finally getting to Archie. I send out Landorus and he sends out Delcatty, who fakes us out on turn 1 before taking a Rock Smash on turn 2 to bring it to less than half health. Landorus is then hit with Attract before being put to sleep for numerous turns. After 2 minutes of dealing with that, I switch to Swellow, who takes a double slap before taking Delcatty out with an Aerial Ace. Holding nothing back, Archie sends out Kyurem next. Swellow hits it for big damage with Meteor Mash before taking Ice Beam, which ends up knocking it out. I then send out Metagross again, who finishes off Kyurem with another Zen Headbutt. Magmortar is out last, and this one could be bad if it hits me with any fire moves. Somehow my fully metal and super heavy Pokemon outspeeds Magmortar and hits it with a Zen Headbutt to knock it out with a single shot. And with that, we had defeated Team Aqua leader Archie. From there, I head to the Jagged Pass to add Coughing to the team, before heading to Lava Ridge Town to get myself a mysterious egg. Wasting no time at all, it was now time to take on Flannery at the Lava Ridge Gym. She leads off with Fungus, who goes down to a single Rock Slide from Crustle, so Seeking is out next. Crustle hits first with X-Scissor to bring Seeking down to low health. Seeking then retaliated with Water Pulse to bring Crustle to less than half health, at which point Flannery heals Seeking back to full health using a Hyper Potion. Another X-Scissor is enough to take it out with a single hit though. And this brings out Flannery's final Pokemon, Meganium, who goes down to a super effective X-Scissor to defeat Flannery and earn us the Heat Badge. I take no time at all to rest as I head straight to the next gym, where I take on my father in the Petalburg Gym. He leads off with Hitmontop as Landorus lowers its attack with Intimidate. I switch into Swellow, who takes a quick attack 2 times in a row from Hitmontop before retaliating with a super effective wing attack to take it out. Next up was Tentacruel, so I switch into Grovyle, who takes a Bubble Beam for next to no damage. Leaf Blade then takes it down to just over half health, but Tentacruel proceeds to use Barrier to boost its defense. Fury Cutter does literally nothing to it as it wraps Grovyle with, wrap, I guess? Mega Drain again does little damage as Tentacruel boosts its defense yet again with Barrier. This goes on for another 2 full minutes before Grovyle finally goes down to an Acid Spray from Tentacruel. So I send out Metagross to finish it off. Yeah, I know I should have switched out Grovyle, but it got wrapped multiple times, so I wasn't able to actually switch it, okay? That's why I let it die. But Metagross misses the first Zen Headbutt and takes a Bubble Beam for a little damage before a second Headbutt lands and takes it out, therefore bringing out my father's signature Pokemon, Pansage. I mean, it's still a monkey, right? No, wait. Slacking is a sloth, not a monkey. Whatever. Stop getting caught up in the specifics, dang it. Anyways, a single Zen Headbutt was more than enough to take it out. So with that, I had earned myself yet another badge in my journey. After showing my father how much of a disappointment he is to the family as he loses to his 10-year-old son, I head back to the desert area. It is here where I grab myself the claw fossil. I knew that if I didn't tell you which one I took, then you would ask. Actually, You know what? Go ahead and ask anyways. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Okay, I had to sneak that one in there, but shout out to Madrybread and his Pokemon Challenge videos, as this is a running joke in his videos, which I find hilarious. Go check out his videos if you haven't already. They're definitely worth the watch. After that, I then happened upon my first Mega Pokemon of the region, a Glacia, which I caught using only a single Ultra Ball. That was a surprise. I then take a few minutes to grind up some levels in the desert before leaving, but I'm distracted by my pooch, as Landorus gets taken out by a wild Glalie without me even realizing at first. That one hurt. I then realized I can't go any further until I teach a Pokemon Surf, but it turns out I had no water Pokemon on my team or even in my PC. In addition to that, I also forgot to grab the fishing rod earlier in the run while I was at Mobville City, so my options were limited at this point unless I went back to grab that. So I head back to Slateport to do just that. Wait, where's Mr. Briny? Well, I guess if he isn't here, he must be back at his house. So I spent an hour getting there, just to find out he was not there either. Huh. To pour salt on the wound, I find a Snover in Meteor Falls, which isn't a water type, but I end up knocking it out anyways. I then remember that I have the Claw Fossil, so I head to Rustboro City to finally get myself an Anorith. Just can't win. Well, at least I still have the Mystery Egg. So I spend time with that on my team to finally hatch myself a water Pokemon. Look at this guy. And I know you're probably thinking, whoa Foss, I've never seen that Pokemon before. Where'd you find yourself a sick looking water Pokemon like that? But I hate to break it to you, and I bet you would never guess it, but I actually drew this one myself. I know I'm an artist, okay? If you want me to draw something like this for your profile, hit me up in the comments below. Gladly do it for $100 a piece, okay? That's it. But in all reality, we actually hatch ourselves an Elgyem, who again cannot learn Surf and who is a duplicate. And at this point, our options were running out. I had not encountered a single Pokemon that could Surf at this point. And with chat's grace, they allowed me to catch any single water Pokemon I could find in order to actually get out of the soft lock. After searching literally every other route and not finding a single water Pokemon, even on the Dex Nav, I entered the Petalburg Woods to find the only water Pokemon available to me at this point, Sharpedo, who I added to the team with an Ultra Ball. I finally had a Pokemon that could Surf. Was that Pokemon I could use after this? No, but could it Surf? Yes. So I did just that, which brings me to the water on Route 118, where I find myself... whoa. That is a sweet looking Kyurem. I did not even realize they came in this color. Somebody in chat had to actually point that out to me. But again, it's pretty freaking awesome. And I somehow added to the team with a single Ultra Ball. It took me 5 Pokeballs earlier in the run to catch a single Scatterbug. But I can catch a sick legendary like this with a single ball. I won't argue that, I guess. From there we meet up with Steven, whose Latios arrives to bring us to a secret island, where we find Latios before being confronted by a couple of Team Aqua executives. With little help from Steven's Aaron, we finally take them down and are rewarded with the legendary Pokemon Latios. Or Dugong, I guess. Well, hey, I did need a water Pokemon, so there's that. And from there I head to Route 123 to add Fletchtinder to the team, before heading into the Horde battle on Route 119 to add Diancie to the team. We then head to the Weather Institute to take on a couple of Team Aqua grunts before getting gifted a Jellicent. Yet another water Pokemon. Very funny game. Very funny. As we leave the Institute, we are confronted yet again by May, who sends out Porygon Z, as I send out Crustle. It uses Magnet Rise as I use Rock Smash to deal decent damage. Porygon Z then uses Recover to heal most of its health before Crustle hits it yet again with Rock Smash to bring it down to low health. One more Rock Smash after that is enough to take it out. Shuckle is out next, and an X-Scissor brings it down to less than half health, and it retaliates with Rock Throw for next to no damage. Surprise, Shuckle deals no damage. Another X-Scissor then takes it out, so Flareon is out next. Crustle misses a Rock Slide as Flareon uses Scary Face, and then hits us with Smog and poisons Crustle before it finishes off Flareon with a Rock Slide to defeat May yet again. I then head through Fortress City to Route 120 to add Flygon to the team before encountering the stationary Hippopotas, who replaces the usual Kecleon encounter. I added to the team with a single Ultra Ball before moving on to take on the Fortress City Gym, where we come up against Gym Leader Winona. She leads with Gardevoir as I send out Dugong. I attempt a 30 accuracy Sheer Cold, but miss as Gardevoir follows with a Calm Mind to boost its attack and defense. I then attempt Sheer Cold one more time, which connects this time for a one-hit KO. Then came Raichu, so I switched to Metagross, whose Clear Body mitigates the effects of Raichu's Tail Whip. Solid move choice, by the way. Raichu then outspeeds and hits a crit hit Thunderbolt, which paralyzes Metagross in the process. A Psychic from Metagross brings it to low health, so Winona proceeds to heal it to full health with the Hyper Potion. But a Zen Headbutt on the next turn was enough to take it out. Cyndaquil was out third and hits with Flame Wheel, but a single Psychic from Metagross was enough to take it out. All that was left at this point was Venomoth, which leads with Gust as Zen Headbutt brings it to less than half health. A second Gust does next to nothing to Metagross, so one final Zen Headbutt secures us the victory and therefore the 6th badge of the region. After beating Winona, we head back to Route 120, where we encounter this bird tamer who ends up taking out Kyurem, which, of course, is a huge loss to the team. But to make up for this loss, we add Staravia to the team on Route 121, Monferno in the Safari Zone, Camerupt on Route 122, and Articuno and Mount Pyre before confronting Team Aqua yet again. After making quick work of Schoolboy Jimmy, aka Roidsman, and his single Altaria, I headed back to Lily Cove City to take on May yet again. She leads off with Gengar as I send out Flygon. I switch into Metagross right away, who takes a super effective payback for little damage before taking a Shadow Ball for some pretty decent damage. But it returns the favor with a Zen Headbutt and takes out Gengar with a single shot. Psyduck is out next, and a Meteor Mash from Metagross brings it to low health. A Zen Headbutt from Psyduck does almost nothing, and another Meteor Mash takes it out. So out comes Roggenrola. A single Meteor Mash from Metagross should have been enough to take it out, but it survives with its sturdy ability. A crit hit Stone Edge does okay damage to Metagross, but a Zen Headbutt finally takes it out. One of my favorite Pokemon, Leafeon, is out last, and stood no chance against the super effective Zen Headbutt from Metagross. After defeating May, we head back to the Team Aqua hideout, where we add Binacle to the team before taking on the Roidsman yet again. And as it turns out, a single Drifloon is not enough to defeat my team as Flygon takes it out with a couple of Rock Slides. But that delay was just enough to give the Submarine Drill time to actually take off. I then grabbed the Master Ball on my way out of the hideout before adding Ninetales to the team in the Lily Cove City Harbor, Wailord on Route 124, and Bayleaf fishing in Moss Deep City. Since we were here, we might as well waste no time and go straight into the gym leader battle. Or I guess battles, with leaders Tate and Liza. They send out Togetic and Mantine, as I send out Ligma and Balzac. My god, I forgot that was in there. That's amazing. Metagross's Meteor Mash brings Mantine down to just above half health before he uses Aqua Veil. A Rock Slide from Crustle takes out Mantine and brings Togetic to low health. I always forget that Mantine is actually part Flying type, and it kind of makes sense, I guess. Kind of. Togetic then hits Crustle with an Ancient Power before being healed to full health with a Hyper Potion. But this makes no difference, as a Zen Headbutt from Metagross and a Rock Slide from Crustle was enough to take it out and earn us the second to the last badge of the region. We continue to rush through the remainder of the game as we catch a Corphish fishing on Route 127 before finding a Mega Mewtwo on Route 128. And I figured this would be a great time to use that Master Ball. So I did just that. I think that this will be a solid addition to the team, especially in replacement of that Kyurem that we lost not long ago. We also add Empoleon to the team in the Seafloor Cavern before taking on Team Aqua yet again. As Archie fails to go Super Saiyan, he sends out Chinchou as I send out Infernape, who takes it out with a single super effective Earthquake. Tauros is out next, and Earthquake does very little damage, but the Zen Headbutt in return was not only super effective, but also a crit hit which almost takes out Infernape with a single shot. I switch into Metagross, who takes his Zen Headbutt without issue before taking Tauros out with a single Meteor Mash. Then there is Bergmite. Metagross misses Hammer Arm, but Bergmite's Avalanche is no threat at all. So another Hammer Arm, which actually lands this time, takes it out. Archie had no choice now but to use his trump card, Surskit. Its Aqua Jet, to no surprise, did next to nothing. But the same could not be said about the Zen Headbutt the Metagross sent its way on the next turn, knocking it out. And with that, we had defeated Archie. But apparently this means nothing, as he awakens Kyogre anyways. Like, are we just not going to mention that? Okay. Shortly after that, Kyogre breaches the surface and proceeds to summon an Eternal Rain to the region. From there, we head to Satopolis, catching a Magnemite on Route 129 on the way there. While surfing around Satopolis, I add Cacturne to the team before making my way into the Cave of Origin. After making my way deep into the cave, fighting many enemies along the way, I finally make it to the deepest depths of the cave into the secret cavern. And it was here that I take on Kyogre Toon. Well, that's a little disappointing, not gonna lie. But after weakening it quite a bit, I was finally able to add the legendary Kyogre Toon to the PC. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to use that at this time, okay? I hate Kricketune except for its cry, which is amazing. Upon emerging from the Cave of Origin, Steven gifts me with the Eon Flute, which allows me to ride the Latios that is not even in my collection of Pokemon through the skies of the Hoenn region, where I add a Fracture to the team. And yes, I know that this is above another route, but it's going to be the only Pokemon I catch up in the sky, okay? I'm going to consider this a new route. And I'm not going to go to any of those mysterious caves that show up around the map, okay? Just this one encounter. Calm down. But I also use this opportunity to fly Latios to the sunken ship south of Slateport, where I complete the puzzle to find myself a Spirit Boof. Spirit Bidoof. Let's go with that. I then speed back to Satopolis, where I struggle through the glass floor puzzle before arriving at Gym Leader Wallace. This is the final badge of the region, so let's see how it goes. He leads off with Charmander, and I send out Metagross, who takes it out with a single Zen Headbutt, so Snubbull is out next. I was shaking in my boots, but luckily Meteor Mash was enough to easily take it out. Then came Venonat, who dodges a Zen Headbutt before getting off a Signal Beam. Metagross, who was curious where that fly that just hit it came from, finally noticed Venonat in the distance, so throws a Zen Headbutt its way to easily take it out. Wynaut is out next and flinches after taking a Zen Headbutt from Metagross. Then in pursuit after that takes it out to bring out Wallace's final Pokemon, Lanoon. This guy's team is just stellar, by the way. Absolutely stellar. Lanoon then leads with Double Edge, which probably hurt it more than the giant metal beast that it was trying to hit. A Hammer Arm from Metagross squashes Lanoon like a bug, and therefore finishes off the final gym of the Hoenn region and earns us the Rain Badge. From there I head straight to Evergrande City, where I somehow add a Jirachi to the team with a single Great Ball while surfing around the base of the waterfall. I then enter Victory Road, where I catch myself a Relicanth before taking on some trainers for some extra XP. Little did I know, Castform hits like a freaking tank, and takes out Mewtwo with a single Hydro Pump, which left me speechless. After drying my tears, I leave and make my way to the Lily Cove department store to get myself some TMs. There are some solid choices here that will make a big difference when it comes to the Elite Four. This is my first run, and I'm not going to restart the challenge this far into it. I need to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to complete this on my very first attempt. So I take some time to add some more levels to the team before heading back into the Victory Road to take on my old friend Wally. He leads off with Cascoon, and I again send out Metagross. Zen Headbutt quickly takes out Cascoon, so Monferno is out next. Just to be safe, I send out Dugong, who takes an Acrobatics before taking out Monferno with a single Surf, so Eevee is out next. Dugong then rests to restore health as Eevee uses Baton Pass to bring out Lairon. After a few turns, it was not looking too good for Dugong, so I switched into Infernape instead. Flamethrower takes Lairon to low health, and it chooses to use Atomize to boost its speed. Is Atomize even a word? It just seems weird. Anyways, it then outspeeds us with Double Edge before going down to a Flamethrower from Infernape. Next up was the first intimidating Pokemon I have seen in quite some time, Salamance. And no, I did not forget about the cast form that has constantly been the bane of my Nuzlocke existence, but I'm just talking about those major battles throughout the game. There hasn't really been a whole lot of competition, especially when it comes to the gym leaders. But this was a long drawn out fight until I finally get Crustle out, who hits Salamance with a super effective Stone Edge to take it out with a single shot. And out comes Eevee one last time. Rock Smash from Crustle brings it to red health. Double Edge from Eevee does decent damage, but one more Rock Smash takes it out to secure the victory over our young rival. The experience from this battle allows Bayleaf to evolve into Meganium. This run had gone pretty smooth up until this point. The biggest competition I've had so far has been those random trainers. And who could forget that struggle that was finding a single water Pokemon. I know I skipped the majority of it, but that was the first 2 hours of one of my streams. That has to be hard to watch. I was on the edge of a breakdown numerous times during the search, and it was rather sad that this situation was the closest I came to actually ending this run. But with that, it was time to head into the Elite Four. Let's take a look at the team at this point. Overall, the levels are not too stellar, but Dugong, Crustle, and Metagross all being over level 55 gives me plenty of type coverage going into the Elite Four. Sure, it would be nice to have more coverage with the Grass-type Meganium and the Dragon-type Fracture, but I still have full confidence in my team. So with that, let's get this over with. Sydney was up first. He leads with the terrifying Kakuna, who stands no chance against the super effective Zen Headbutt from Metagross. So second out was Meowstic. I hit it with Hammer Arm, not realizing this is actually not a normal type Pokemon. I then take the time to trust my cat and his cat instincts since this is in fact a cat Pokemon. And he told me that Meteor Mash was a much better choice. And turns out he was right as it finishes off Meowstic, bringing out Swampert. A Meteor Mash from Metagross deals decent damage and Swampert misses a Muddy Water before going down to yet another Zen Headbutt. Then came Zebstrika, who got off a Spark for minimal damage before going down to Zen Headbutt. This brings out the final and most terrifying Pokemon of them all, Caterpie. This one had me sweating, but luck must have been on my side as a single Zen Headbutt takes it out to defeat the first member of the Elite Four. And Phoebe was up next. She leads with Espeon, whose Psychic does little damage to Metagross. Metagross follows up with a crit hit Pursuit to take it out with a single shot. Then came Reggie Rock, who takes a Hammer Arm before using Iron Defense. Phoebe then heals it to full health as I accidentally misclick on Pursuit, which of course does very little to Reggie Rock. Both Pokemon proceed to miss a Hammer Arm on the next turn, and if either one of those landed, it would have been big damage to either one of these Pokemon. A Meteor Mash from Metagross brings Regirock to yellow health. Regirock retaliates with Hammer Arm to bring Metagross to just over half health. But one more Hammer Arm from Metagross is enough to finally take out Regirock, so Tynamo is out next. Zen Headbutt is all that's needed, and it goes down easily. And then there was Azurill, who falls victim to Meteor Mash, bringing out Phoebe's final Pokemon, Vileplume. Yeah, this one brought back some bad flashbacks to my Heart Gold run, and I had to almost give up at this point. What do we got? This game. I'm done. I haven't taken on red. Just done. This game hates me. I'm starting to hate this game. Chalk up another one. Why not? I take a second to pull myself together before hitting Vileplume with a Zen Headbutt, which is more than enough to take it out with just a single shot. And with that, we had defeated the Elite Four member Phoebe. Then there was Glacia, who leads with Chestnut, so I switched to Infernape, who takes decent damage from Mudshot. Infernape gets off a Fire Blast to deal huge damage and takes out Chestnut with just a single shot. Mime Jr. was out next, and a Flamethrower from Infernape burns it as it brings it down to less than half health. Mime Jr. uses Baton Pass to bring out Stantler. Stantler chooses to use Imprison for some weird reason, but close combat from Infernape takes it out right afterwards. And then out comes Mime Jr. yet again, who is no match for Infernape's Flamethrower. So that brings out Arbok. Arbok outspeeds with Mud Bomb to deal big damage to Infernape to bring it to low health. An Earthquake from Infernape deals even more damage, but I was not going to risk it, so I brought out Metagross. A full restore brings Arbok back to full health, but Zen Headbutt is more than enough to take it out. And then out comes the final Pokemon of Glacia's, Meganium, who takes big damage from Zen Headbutt before paralyzing Metagross with Body Slam. Meganium hits yet another Body Slam before going down to another Zen Headbutt from Metagross. So with that, we were down to one last Elite Four member. And finally there was Dragon Trainer Drake, who leads with Leafeon. Kind of a weird looking dragon Pokemon, I'd have to say. And I switched Metagross into Infernape. And Leafeon uses Sunny Day, which actually boosts Infernape's attack. A Flamethrower from Infernape easily takes out Leafeon, so an actual dragon is out next. Salamance is a very intimidating Pokemon overall, so I bring out Crustle in order to hit it with a rock move if possible. Salamance starts with a scary face for some reason before hitting Crustle with Flamethrower for some decent damage. I think we got super lucky here, just because of the fact that it used Scary Face on the first turn. 2 Flamethrowers would have easily taken out Crustle, but Crustle's Stone Edge then misses. I was not going to risk it here, so I send out Dewgong, who takes a Flamethrower with no issue before retaliating with an Ice Beam, which is able to take out Salamence with a single shot. Wow, that was a lucky break. Then came Crustle's little brother, Dwebble. Dewgong hits hard with Ice Beam, but Dwebble holds on with its sturdy ability. Drake then heals it to full health again, using a full restore before Dewgong hits it hard yet again with Surf. But yet again, Dwebble holds on using its sturdy ability. And following that, Dwebble outspeeds us and hits Dewgong with a Rock Wrecker to knock it out. No way. Please tell me how. I know Rock Wrecker is 150 power, but it was Dwebble. I mean, it was super effective, so I'll give it that, but again, it's Dwebble. I send out Metagross to finish it off with Pursuit to bring out Swadloon. I did not want to underestimate this one after what I saw what Dwebble could do, so I hit it with a Zen Headbutt to take it out, bringing out Drake's final Pokemon, Tyrogue, who's also weak to Psychic, so it goes down easily to Metagross' Zen Headbutt. And with that, we had defeated the final member of the Elite Four. We had finally beaten the game on our first run. We had... wait, what? Oh, of course. Yeah, it would not be a Pokemon game unless they actually had 5 members to the Elite Four. Oh, well, I guess we're going to have to do one more battle, so let's get to that. And I guess it should have come as no surprise that this would be Steven. You think that he would have mentioned this at some point during the playthrough, or at least the fact that he was the champion of the region? Well, maybe he did and I wasn't paying attention. My wife says I do that once in a while, or at least I think she does. I don't know, I usually don't pay attention to her. Anyways, he leads with Houndour, and I send out Metagross, but quickly switch into Infernape. Houndour misses Inferno, but Infernape hits with Earthquake to take it out with a single shot. Voltorb is out next and gets off a discharge before 2 going down to Earthquake. Then there was LGM. I switched to Metagross so I could hit it with Pursuit, which happens to do little damage. Another Pursuit brings it dangerously close to death, but Steven heals it back to full health using a full restore. A couple more Pursuits bring it right back down to critically low health as it hits me with Synchronize. Steven heals it once more, but this time 2 more Pursuits was enough to finally take it out. The XP from taking out LGM allows Metagross to level up and learn Hyper Beam. Pursuit really hasn't been that great for me at this point, so I replace it with Hyper Beam. And then I proceed to use Hyper Beam right away on the next turn to take on Vaporeon. No, wait. Okay, so it was Zerora. I love that Pokemon, by the way. It's so cute, and it's such a cool ability too. But with that, Vaporeon was out next, but it does not even get a second to breathe before Metagross hits it hard with Zen Headbutt to take it out with a single shot. That will bring out Steven's final Pokemon, Aggron. Although I thought this was going to be a tough fight, a single Hammer Arm is all that it takes to bring it down. Therefore defeating Steven and earning us the title of Champion of the Hoenn region, and earning us the spot in the Hall of Fame. Wow, I can't believe that I beat this run on my first attempt. Like I said before, my last randomizer took me 22 attempts and 5 months to complete. This only took 7 total streams, and that's not even a full month for me. Again, I love this game and I would love to take on another challenge in this... Wait. As the to be continued screen shows, I continue to chat with the viewers. And it is at this point that I noticed that the Delta episode was up next. So I guess that to be continued is continuing right now. I had completely forgotten about this after not playing the game for over 5 years, and Chet convinced me to complete this as well before I could officially consider this run over. And it is at this point that we're introduced to Zinnia, who challenges us to a battle and leads with Virizion. No, not Verizon, okay, they're not selling any cell phones. Okay, it's Virizion, the legendary roaming thingy. It uses Swords Dance to boost its attack, before Metagross hits with Hammer Arm to deal some pretty decent damage. A Sacred Sword from Virizion deals okay damage back to Metagross, but a Zen Headbutt then takes it out, so Shellos is out next. It deals a surprising amount of damage with Muddy Water before going down to Metagross's Zen Headbutt. Then came Vibrava. I didn't want to take any risks with Metagross at this point, so I switched into Crustle. After a couple Stone Edges, Vibrava finally goes down to defeat Zinnia for the first time. We then meet with Steven in Meteor Falls, where an elder mentions the great Rayquaza. And with that, the search for Rayquaza begins. I head to the Team Aqua hideout yet again, where I find Zinnia, who steals the Keystone from Archie. And no, not the Keystone like, Keith Stone, the cool dude. The Keystone from Archie. We then leave the hideout and head to Satopolis to meet up with Wallace, who reveals the location of the Sky Pillar. We easily find our way to the pillar, where we are surprised by Zinnia. She gives us some Rayquaza lore before we make our way through the pillar and to the roof, where she uses the Keystone to summon Rayquaza with a little assistance from the meteorite in my backpack. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think a Keystone would ever actually summon anything great, but you keep dreaming, Pokemon, you keep dreaming. After a not so quick cutscene, it was time to take on the legendary Mega Honchkrow. Okay, so much hype for nothing. Oh wait, that gives me a good idea. So after we add Honchkrow to the team, I choose to nickname it Hypecrow. All the hype, all the crow, and all the disappointment. After defeating Zinnia, she convinces me to ride Hypecrow into space to take on the new threat, Deoxys. Well, it may not actually be Deoxys, but at least it is a legendary still. And after 10 Ultra Balls, we are finally able to add Tornadus to the team. And with that, the threat to Earth was finally over. It was time for us to just be children for once and actually enjoy some time together. And that was the end of the Delta episode. But there was a couple more things I actually wanted to do. So I leave the house and I hear a call for help. I head up north to find the Pokemon professor being subdued by a scary Shroomish. In order to help, I dig into his bag to find the next 3 starters available to us. After choosing Mantike just for the fun of it, I return home and wake up the next morning to even more cries for help. I head up north to find the professor being confronted by a Machoke. I'm guessing he was probably caught with my mother, but what other reason would there be for them chasing him? Kinda weird. And again, we have to choose between the 3 starters in the bag, so I choose Feraligatr, who is, funny enough, actually a starter, just the 3rd evolution of it. And this is finally the end to my Pokemon Alpha Sapphire Randomizer Nuzlocke. Again, not nearly as brutal as I was expecting, but definitely a lot of fun. I would love to take on another challenge in this generation in the near future. Both the remakes of Diamond and Pearl being released, in addition to the Legends Arceus game, I doubt they'll be anytime soon. If you like this video, let me know in the comments below. Also remember to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this in the near future. Also take some time to check out my other Pokemon Challenge videos. So far I've done a Randomizer Nuzlocke in Heart Gold and an Extreme Surprise Lock in Pokemon Sword. Links for each in the description below. I also just completed an Oddish only run in Pokemon Fire Red over on my Twitch, link in the description. Highlights of that run should be up on my channel here in the next couple weeks. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and like always, I'll catch you on the next one.